Hello and welcome. My name is Anastasia Zatula, and I thought I will record this video and maybe give some pointers on how to talk more feminine. To many people's surprise, there are quite a few women that do want to speak more feminine, and apparently there is like this whole process of learning how to do it. I will give you my 5 cents on this process. Now, because I have so much energy of water and my Mercury is in Scorpio, I am soft-spoken like this. I speak feminine already. So I was born like this, and I didn't like the way I was talking for a long time, especially when I was working. I wanted to be more straight to the point, more direct in my approach. I wanted my voice even to sound more from the throat and not from the heart, from the womb. So I was not happy with my voice until I realized that my voice is actually very powerful because it's so feminine. It sounds so feminine, even though it is deep. Now, a voice that is not deep is actually masculine. So let's get to that, and I will explain to you how to become more feminine and why it is powerful, because it is truly, truly powerful. When a man will tell you, when a man tells you something like, I booked a restaurant for 8 p.m. just be ready, I will pick you up. Doesn't it sound great? It sounds great because it's very masculine, it's direct. He did what he did, he told you what he did, and he expects you to do some kind of actions, and you just you love this leadership in him. This is masculine approach. Feminine men also appreciate when women talk feminine, and feminine conversations should come with emotions, should come with feelings. Men love that when men love women with emotions, when women love men that are direct, masculine, straight to the point. Now, me, unfortunately, I didn't understand it for a long time, and I was trying to be more masculine. And even I remember I was dating somebody, and he's like, "Why are you so rude and aggressive?" And I was like, I was upset with him. Why would he say something like that when I am just trying to be direct and like everybody else, like I was taught in university and for my speech degree, but not speech degree, on my speech class. My God, speech degree, if ever I could pull it up. So before we'll start, I would want you to look where your Mercury is, because Mercury is the planet of communication, and you can try all you want. You will always communicate as your Mercury is. So, for example, my Mercury is in Scorpio, so I'm more, one thing that I'm soft, another thing that I'm deep. I'm always looking for something deeper connection. I'm also a little mysterious. As you know, I'm not very, even if you see, I post pictures on Instagram like a few months after I've been traveling somewhere. I don't really put stories, so I'm very inside, kind of. My communication goes inside. That's why I love energy so much. That's why I love all this, all this mysterious kind of uncovered matters. And through my conversation, you probably feel it. I always go deep inside anything. I like to uncover some kind of deeper meanings. That's why I like what I do, because this is partially me in my communication. So anyways, this is my communication. Now, if you and because it's a water sign, I am soft-spoken like this, and trust me, if you think it's great, it is great when you're talking to somebody like a man. But like me, for example, on videos, it would be better if I would have a fire Mercury. Now, fire Mercury, you see those people, they're very loud, they're very fast when they talk, they're very expressive, and people are just like mesmerized by them, like they're mesmerized by the fire. So for my line of work, maybe this soft communication is not the best, but it is what it is. I was born with it, so I guess I'm going to deal with it. I don't mind, really. I love my Mercury in Scorpio. It's fine. But I know people with Mercury in Aries, in Sagittarius, in Leo. Those people are completely different. They are opposite. They are very loud. They are not digging deep. They are basically they just like to cover everything. They're talking about the trends like this. So if you have Mercury in one of these planets, you will always be loud. You will always be masculine in your communication. You can adjust yourself a little bit, but for the most part you will always be like this. Just accept it and take it as a good thing, because in your career, in your business, it would be probably more beneficial. Who knows where I would be in my career, in my previous career, if I would be more direct, a little louder, a little more aggressive. So if you have Mercury in Aries, in air signs, that's Gemini, Aquarius and Libra, then you're more aggressive with your approach. Like, so it's not like you're aggressive on something that you like, but for the most part you're aloof, kind of like you like to talk, but talk about nothing. It's just the conversation just goes like this, like but if you want something, if you're passionate about something, you will persist until the person will agree, or basically just because you're pushing your ideas into the masses, and you will make sure that the masses will accept it. Now, also masculine approach, but still it is what it is. I mean, you can influence other people, and you can really contact and communicate with a lot of people. So now, if your Mercury is in an earth sign, that's Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus, then you're more grounded. You don't talk much. These people don't usually talk much. When they talk, they say something substantial, so they're not going to be just flirting like water signs, or just throwing ideas around like air signs. They're not going to be obviously too loud and too aggressive like fire signs, but when they speak, they mean it. So if you know somebody, I know people like this, they usually when they're in the company, they just sit there. They like to kind of to serve people, to help people, but they don't really speak much. And I appreciate these people very much, because I don't really like the loud mouth one. I like when a person speaks with some kind of meaning. These are also feminine energy. So if you have a Mercury in an earth sign, you will have a feminine kind of approach to communication regardless. You were born with that. So that's just how it is. So if your Mercury is in water or earth, you were born with the feminine communication style. You were born like that. Now, if you have air or fire, you can alter a little bit. I had a client, she was very aggressive she had a lot of fire overall, and her Mercury was in Aries, so she was just jumping and very aggressive in everything. And she knew that this was her shortcoming. I convinced her that this was not her shortcoming, but it was her benefit. And I'm trying to convince you that even though your Mercury may not be on your side, it's still your advantage. You will just need to learn how to manage it a little bit in your life. But trust me, I mean, I know a lot of people with Mercury in fire signs, and I mean, they live pretty good. It just sometimes they could be loud. When they laugh, they're loud, or when they speak, when they flirt, they even also comes off as not flirty, but more like aggressive seduction. So it is what it is. Just accept it. Don't fight yourself. Just accept it. As I said, I was fighting my way of communication for so long, and I was trying to be more masculine in my communication. What did it give me? Nothing. Disappointment in myself and others, and a lot of tears. I should have accepted as I am for a long time ago, and just dealt with it, because the way I communicate is powerful too. It goes deep into the soul, because my Mercury is in Scorpio. Yeah, maybe it won't go to everybody, but it will definitely the ones that will get it, they get it. So this is how it is. And let me know in the comments where is your Mercury. I'm really curious to know. I was actually observing a long time ago a lot of people, just to see my colleagues and everybody. I was building the natal chart just to see their way of communication. So if your communication is let's say in fire sign, you expect other people to speak like that. So you don't like when somebody is quiet, like energy of earth. You want them to speak, you want them to express themselves. Or if you have a Mercury in air, you expect others to be also very social and communicative, and when they are not, you're like all disappointed, like what's with this person. Or when you have Mercury in water, you expect everybody to be soft spoken, to be kind of sensitive to the way they communicate, what they say. Or when you have Mercury in Earth, you expect others also to be not to chit chat all the time, but to say what they want to say, according, only when it's needed to be saying. So it's normal. It's, we just it's how it is. Like my aunt, she has one of my aunts. I mean, I have three, but one of them, she has Mercury in Leo, so she's like all over the top. I mean, about herself, about others, she just loves that. But her husband has a Mercury in Taurus, so that guy hardly ever speaks. Honestly, in my whole life, I don't know whether I even heard him speak a few words. Like he always, but when he say, and her whole family, my cousins, they all know if he speaks, I mean everybody, because when he says something, he means it, and there's no negotiations. So you learn how to kind of how to how to get used to people, to their style of communicating. This is just it's normal, it's normal. All right, so to feminine talking, I mean, we're here to learn how to speak feminine. And usually when you become, the more feminine you become, the more you open your femininity, you will start speaking more feminine regardless. I saw it among a couple of my friends, my clients, and I noticed, even my sister is Pisces, so she's like this quiet kind of demure young lady, but her Mercury is in Aries, which makes you loud kind of. But I noticed that when she's feminine, when she works on her femininity, when she's in relationship, she's very soft spoken. So when you work on your femininity, your language will become more feminine too. You will see why, because you have more energy inside of you, especially in your womb area, and because it's there, I mean, that's where you're speaking from the womb. So whether you want it or not, you will start speaking more feminine, develop femininity, do my course on femininity, watch the videos, work on feminine chakras as well. Now, a feminine, as a woman, you're supposed to be 75% of the time, you're supposed to be conversing in a feminine way, and I will tell you what it is. Now, 25%, obviously, you have to be masculine, like me right now. I am masculine because I'm recording the video, and if I would be feminine, then I would be like, yeah, let's talk about this. What do you think? So obviously there is different people, and some people might like my feminine approach, and some will be like, Anastasia, get to the point. I do, you see, because I have a lot of water, I'm like, I could talk and talk and talk. Not usually. If I record the video, usually I don't talk to nobody for the rest of the day. But when I talk, I expand like water does. So it's not like fire, facts, and that's it. A woman, the first rule of feminine speaking, you need to speak positive. You could not use, you talking with good feelings, not the mind and not the dirty feelings. For example, if I will tell you, when I started this video, I should have told you something like, I really like how my relationship changed when I once I start talking feminine. You see, today I will teach you how to do that. I started with positivity, and I encourage you, kind of like that. Now, instead, or if you're talking to a man and you have some kind of issue that you want to solve with the man, instead of you telling him, you never bought me a present, you're telling him, I so much like it when you are so attentive, when you buy me something, I feel so special, you see? So it's the same message, it's just a little different. Feminine talk is always positive with the feelings. So you're not positive like, okay, so good, you passed your exam, good job. This is very masculine. What you always speak with feelings, like, oh my God, I can't believe my boyfriend is going to be a licensed pilot. Like I really admire you right now, like that. So you see, it's always with the feelings, and it has to be positive. No negative talk. Negative talk is not feminine. Well, negative talk is not masculine either, but masculinity is direct, and criticism is more masculine. Feminine conversation should be about inspiring. It's not really. It's not negative. It's not criticism. It's not anything of that. When I'm talking about feminine conversations, I do hope you understand that this is for everybody. So it's how you talk to your parents, your partners, your kids, yourself even. Now with your kids, remember, these are your projects that you're nurturing, so you still need to be somewhat masculine, but for the most part, 75% you still need to be feminine. Even when you talk to yourself, 75% should be this kind of talk. Good job, Anastasia. No, not good job. I really feel so great that you did so much today, like that. But something positive. It has to be positive. Now, the second point that I wanted to say is that you need to speak only when you feel like talking. Forced talking or talking when you don't feel like will be masculine. It's the same, like, for example, somebody has to go to a job and they don't want to, but they go because they practice self-discipline. This is masculine. So if you don't feel like talking, don't talk. Otherwise, it's just it will be a masculine way of communication. If somebody is telling you, if somebody is kind of pushing you to talk because they're bored, or maybe because they want a little energy, because you send energy through your conversation, I mean, it's their problem, really. You just don't talk. So feminine conversations are always coming naturally. You don't talk because you need to. You talk because you're feeling like talking. And usually feminine women, they don't talk much. Yeah, for the most part, they don't. I just went through in my head through all my feminine mentors and everybody who I know who is super feminine. All right, the next one is, I put it here, criticizing, analyzing, talking straight to the point. It needs to be only 25% of the time. It has to be, you see, like, because you could not, let's imagine you sign the contract. I mean, you have to speak, you have to go through all the terms, you have to negotiate the terms. This is masculine, and you can do that. That's nothing bad. You can even criticize yourself a little bit. I mean, it has to be constructive criticism. But for example, if I will wake up and like feel kind of weird today, maybe you should go for a run or something, or maybe we need some exercise or something. So, or for example, I can tell myself, you've been kind of negligent lately on I don't know, on some projects that you have in mind. Maybe it's time to kind of get back to them. So I am criticizing myself, but it's only 25% of the time. The rest of the time I'm praising myself because I'm so great and everything. And it should be with everybody. So you have a man, make sure that 75% of your conversation with him, of your communication with him, is positive, and 25% you're talking about something. So in those 25% you can say, I had a birthday 2 months ago and I still didn't get a present from you. I feel kind of strange. So you don't beat him up with that like every single hour of the day. It's like you talk to him, like you express, and then after the 25% over, you are again loving and sweet and soft yourself. And remember, men are not stupid. I mean, they understand what is happening. Now, when I saw 75% of the time should be praise, optimism, inspiration. Men, on the other hand, are a little vice versa. That's why don't expect your man to be soft, to be emotional 75% of the time. If he is like that 75% of the time, then it's a feminine man. All those men that you think they're so attentive and so good, they're not masculine gentlemen. They're feminine men. Masculine men are not good communicators. remember that masculine men are usually rude, aggressive, they're impatient, usually they're straight to the point. They have no patience. These are masculine men. Men that are very sweet, they're like, oh, how was your day today? And it's natural for him. Or really, I really like what you do, and I really think it's great, and all this, all this nonsense chatter. These are feminine men. Feminine men that don't know how to build their masculinity, so they waste time on their feminine traits that they already have. So a man, only 25% he can be sweet, only 25% he's like in a little feminine energy, in a little feminine conversation. So that's the time when he will tell you that he missed you, that he loves you, that he whatever, that he appreciates you, that you are. But a woman should be like this 75% of the time, and this is normal. So a woman's thinking, talking should be positive 75% of the time. If you are not like that, then you are masculine, or in a very dirty femininity. Clean it up and get rid of the masculinity if you are inspired to be feminine. Like me, for the most part, the whole day I'm pretty positive. I mean, yeah, sometimes I have like fallouts. Obviously, it happens to everybody, but for the most part, I feel very off when I'm not positive like that. And as you know, I mean, I'm pretty optimistic and positive when it comes to my clients. Obviously, I see their strengths as well. So people love to talk to me. I mean, I don't always like to talk to people, especially if they are just like random and strange people. But people do love to talk to me because I bring the really good energy with when I open my mouth and when I don't. So this is how it is. Your masculine conversation should be only 25% of the time, not more. Now, when I said that woman should only talk when she feels like, this is the power of a feminine conversation. You need to, when you are quiet, you speak louder than when you talk a lot. You see, masculine men usually, they come off as a little aggressive, and the only way they understand that they overstep their boundaries when you kind of. And I understand that a little too late in life. Usually when a man would start saying something to me, I always was attracting masculine men. And those men were loud, they were aggressive, and if they didn't like something, they would say it, and they would offend me like that. And so what I was doing, I was fighting them back. But me fighting them back, I mean, how can you fight fire with little fire that I have? I mean, I was always losing, and then I was upset with myself, upset with the guys, and I was like so disappointed that I didn't have enough power to win that fight. Only when I start working on my femininity, I realized that I'm winning my fight when I'm closing my mouth completely. The guy says something obnoxious, okay, that's it, the conversation is over. Let me know when you are ready to talk, when you are ready to talk differently. And this is much more effective. That's why I'm telling you, you need to speak only when you're feeling like, and the feelings need to come from the inside, not your ego. Somebody says something rude to you, now you're barking back at him. That's not how it is. So the feminine conversation should be more on the quieter side. The quieter you are, the more powerful you are, because nobody knows what's brewing in there as long as you're quiet, especially if there is some kind of conflict. Never ever fight the fire with fire. You fight fire with water or earth. So this is how it is. Your man is a little aggressive, he's shouting, he's unhappy with something. So how do you fight with water? You basically come and listen, I love you so much, I'm not sure why you're shouting so. So you put water on the fire comes down at once. This is what I do. Now, if I would, or if I'm not in the mood to do that, I'm just, that's it, I'm not even talking. Now, if I would have a Mercury in Earth, and I would be, then I would just that's it, no conversation, and do whatever you want, and you see how fire is usually put down with earth. You just threw some sand, some earth on it, and then that's it, it's done. You see, so you could be very powerful by not talking, much more powerful than if you would talk. So that's another point. So what should you, another one is you need to talk from your womb and from your heart. If you really want to be feminine, Your conversations should come from your womb and from your heart. If you notice, that's how I speak. I try very much to speak from the throat. This is how it sounds. I speak from the throat. You see, it's masculine. It's like high. Now, the feminine voice should be coming from the womb. When you talk to a man especially, this is how it will sound. I talk from the womb. So it's like air comes all the way from the womb. It's very deep. Or you can talk also from the heart. It's the majority of how I speak when I'm not working, when I'm not recording the videos, or when I'm not talking to the clients. Sometimes even I'm talking to clients from the heart when they're a little aggressive. So like for example, they're unhappy with something, so I need to neutralize the energy. I talked from the heart. From the heart will be like this. I talk from the heart. You see, like there is a difference. So from the womb, the deepest, in the heart, also a little deep, but not as deep. And then when you speak from the throat, it's more like aggressive, like that. So try to speak from the womb. When you speak from the womb or from the heart, imagine that your voice is there. So when you speak, just imagine that your vocal cords are there, and that's how it will be coming out. You will feel it. It's like your muscles here or here will be working when you will be talking. You will feel it will be coming out. I do it naturally. Why? Because a lot of my energy is in the second chakra, so it just happens like this. I talk like this to everybody, and a couple times in my finance career I get in trouble a little bit like that, because people thought I was flirting with them when I was not really even close to flirting. It just how I was talking natural like this. One guy went so crazy. I mean, he wanted to call HR. He was not an employee. He was a client, not even my client. He was a client of one of my colleagues, and she asked me to help him because he had like emergency. He already came very, very mad, and I was very calm like this, and talking from my womb just because I could not like constantly control myself. And he got like all crazy. He wanted, I think he was mad. He wasn't mad at me. I think I was just the last drop. He had like all this idea. So it's powerful. It's powerful when you talk to men. They hear you, they feel you. It's like really, really strong. If you really want to be feminine, talk from the moon or from the womb. And if you think that's too deep, men love deep voices. I mean, as long as they're feminine deep voices. I think every single man tells me how much he loves my voice, and I never even thought nothing special about it. So if your voice is very very high, then this is what you need to do. You need to speak from the womb or from the heart, and you will never be too loud when you speak from those two, because that's just impossible. Try it today. Let me know in the comments whether you will be able to. All right, so what if you're a feminine woman, what should you be talking about, right? I mean, you already learned how to talk. All right, so as I said, the feminine woman shouldn't be a chatterbox. Only an empty bucket is always loud. This is what you need to talk about to everybody, to yourself, to your friends, to your partner, even with your kids. So, well, with your kids, you're talking on, well, let me just remove the kids for now. So this is what you speak. You speak about your dreams, your desires, what you like, what you're grateful for, what are you praising for genuinely, what your wishes, like this. This is what you talk about. And trust me, once you start talking like this, your life will change greatly. Instead of discussing the news and the problems, current problems, this is masculine talk. You don't do that. When you are in some kind of relationship with anybody, this is what you should speak about. You see, I don't know whether if my YouTube channel would be about current political situation, it would go good, because my approach is different. I'm more feminine, and therefore I would rather be inspiring and talking about the wishes and love and everything, and how to find power in yourself, than talking, then discussing and criticizing something that's not really feminine. So this is what you speak. You meet with your friends and you talk about your dreams, what do you want to do, where do you want to go on vacation. If you talk about man, you need to praise man. You only talk about strength. So if you want to discuss somebody, anybody, maybe your other friend, or maybe you want to discuss your kids or something, you always talk with strength. So you don't really criticize anybody. That would be very masculine. What else do? You provide a somewhat emotional support. So your man comes from a hard work, a hard day at work, and he's like all exhausted, and you're the one who is just cheering him up. Now, you are not becoming a mom. Remember, you're a woman, a feminine woman, so make sure to keep that at that level. So, for example, you express the wish to your man that you want to go and stay for the summer in Sardinia, in Italy. And so your man, as he's such a hero, he wants to kind of to do that for you. So, but it seems like he is afraid that it won't happen. So he comes to you and he says, you know, I don't know whether we will be able to spend the summer in Sardinia because the villas are super expensive and I don't know whether I can take that much time off. So instead of you getting upset or trying to find ways how to do that, right, you need to say something like, well, there's still time. I'm sure you'll figure out something. You're always so resourceful. And if not, then we can spend time somewhere else or even stay here. I mean, that's not a problem for me. You see, if you will speak like this, your man will be like, oh my God, she's, you know, it's not a deal break. She's that sweet. So he will try even harder to get you to that Sardinia because you're not fighting him on that. You believe that he can do that. You see, this is the power of feminine kind of talk, of feminine inspiration. That's how it should be. Or for example, you're meeting with I don't know, with your friend, and your friend is complaining about that that she wants to buy a house and she doesn't have a down payment and she really wants to do it and she this and this. Instead of you jumping in and saying, hey, take my savings, you can say something like, you know, why not to maybe it would be better to wait and then see how it will turn out, and you know, I'm sure the money will come somehow, like this. So instead of you doing actions or offering to help, this is masculine. You should be more feminine, more inspirational, more on the positive side. So like that. If you, like me, for example, when anybody would complain about anything, I would jump in with my help. Like that was my only kind of type of conversation. Right now, it's not like this. People are strong. They're as strong as I am. They don't need my charity. So you also need to understand that your friends, your partner doesn't need your charity. And all those women, as soon as a man starts, oh my God, it's so hard for me to pay for the bills, and she's like, okay, let me get a second job. I mean, no, that's he's just speaking out loud. You're making your man weak if you believe that you need to work 2 jobs just to make the ends meet. So this is what you need to talk about. You always talk about you always. So you see, if you would ask your man, why couldn't we go to Sardinia, is everything so bad, like in a little like, oh my God, what happened, is everything so bad, then you will become a mom, a hysterical mom. Now with your kids though, you also need 75% being like somewhat supportive, somewhat inspiring, loving, obviously emotional. 25% of the time with the kids you have to be masculine, because these are your projects, you're nurturing them, so you have to kind of be boss with children. So you can criticize them again, but it has to be somewhat positive criticism. You obviously can tell them, can negotiate with them. You can give them your rules, your expectations. That's normal, because kids are your projects. That's the only role where you can be masculine. Well, they're not really your project, but they're your creation, and you are nurturing your creation. Now, what else here? Yeah, that's I already mentioned. The same should be whether you talk to your man, to your kids, or to yourself. 25% is critical thinking, 75% praise and love. 25% doesn't have to be just critical thinking, but it's more not emotional. This is your talk with your mind. You see, when you talk 25%, you talk exactly what needs to be done. For example, you're telling your man, you know, we need to go to a grocery store. it's not really what you feel, it's not really what you want, it's not really your emotions, but you guys live together, you play house kind of, you know, so there is certain responsibilities on both of you. And at this moment you can tell him, when are we going to Costco, or can I have your credit card and I will order delivery or something. So it's normal for 25%, but only 25%. Again, you couldn't be talking about groceries the whole day. So if you will change your conversation to this 25% you're in masculine, 75% you're in feminine, you will keep the people around you accountable. They know that you can stand for yourself, but yet they will have the right focus, but yet there won't be no pressure. You see, when you tell your man, I'm sure you will figure out how we can get to Sardinia and spend a couple months there, you know, you're so resourceful, you always make it happen. But if not, then it's fine, we'll stay here, that's not a problem. We can go for, I don't know, a couple of weeks somewhere. This way, a man knows that you do want to go to Sardinia. You are not like changing your plans, but yet he knows that there is no pressure, and that is something you wouldn't leave him just because he could not make it happen. That you will be maybe this one time happy with going to, I don't know, Hawaii. Something like that. So you see, like, they know where your standards stand, they know that you will not budge from your standards, but they also know that it's not a deal breaker, that you would not divorce him just because you guys didn't get to Sardinia. And this is very powerful. I hope you understand. Feminine conversation should be soft, but strong, kind of. Yeah, I do want to go to Sardinia, that would make me very happy, but if not, I mean that's fine, but I do want to go there, so make it happen. But I'm not going to to make you miserable if you don't, like this. And men will do anything to make that happen. You'll see, once I start talking like this to almost everybody, it changed. I mean, I don't talk like this. So when I am with my feminine girlfriends, I talk feminine, masculine too, because again, if we're all feminine and we all will be like, oh, okay, yeah, with our emotions, we will never have everything done. So when we come into the restaurant, like for example, let's meet tomorrow, where should we meet? You want to go have lunch in that place? This is all masculine, you see. If I would be like, well, choose the place, what time? Well, I don't know, anytime. This is feminine, but again, it's like blah, you know, you need to make some kind of plans and fast. All right, now remember that female voice is extremely powerful because it speaks with emotion, so it carries much more energy. Men are usually louder, more aggressive, but the energy that they throw out is very limited. So no matter how you speak, masculine and feminine, energy comes out with your conversation, with your words. That's why sometimes when you are speaking for too long, like you feel exhausted. Even if you are like with a bunch of friends and you guys talk and you know, like exchanging ideas and everything seems to be perfect, and then next day you're like, I'm drained, because every time you speak, you send a little bit of energy out. Now, because men speak usually from the third chakra, from the throat, they don't really put that much energy out. That energy is very limited. It's like little kind of pieces of energy, like little bulks of energy. When a woman speaks, her energy comes deeper, and there's like a flow of energy comes out. That's why it's better for a woman to not to talk much and be careful with what she's saying, because there is a lot of energy comes with this. If I will tell, I would love to go to Sardinia this summer, you know, there's such a huge energetic charge with these words that the man takes it seriously. If I would just be masculine, like, you know, would be good to go to Sardinia this summer, it would have a little charge, but it won't be as strong. So say less, but let it come out like really strong, really from the, I think even the masculine coaches, they advise this, and that's what they teach, to talk less. talking again, you should talk. If you do feel like saying something, say, because feminine conversation comes with emotions. Don't forbid yourself to talk. That wouldn't be right. But again, it has to be positive talk. You know, like I remember when I was very, very young, like in my early 20s, I would like have this just like I would be brainstorming in my mind some kind of ideas on my relationship or something, and I would just speak about this, speak. Oh my God, there were times when I would send text messages like this, and that's not when we have iPhone right now. We had those, you remember those that you need to press one number a few times to get one letter, and I would spend like half an hour to write that message to put my point across. I mean, that's just nonsense. All right. If you talk a lot, if you believe that you need to fill up an empty space, if you're doing a lot of actions while you're talking, this is masculine. So if you're talking negative, if you're like, my God, have you seen the news, or what's going on with the weather right now, that's masculine. Not even a very good masculinity. If you're complaining, crying, if you're jealous all the time, if you're like, do you love me, do you not love me, do you look at other women, do you not look at other women, this is dirty femininity. This is not a good conversation anyways. But if you talk, if you feel like you are in the company and there's like an awkward silence and you feel like you need to feel to say something, and you constantly saying something just to make sure, and people, you just like a little clown amusing everybody around just so it won't feel awkward, this is masculine and not very good. So don't do that. Obviously, if you want to be more feminine, then just and that's it. You know, if it's awkward, let it be awkward. Then maybe you don't need to be in this company. Now, if you feel like you could not avoid, if you feel like you could not avoid the conversation, if you were pushed into conversation and whether you want it or not, you need to speak, at least speak positively. So if somebody tells you, my God, the weather is so miserable right now, I don't know what to do, you'll be like, well, just a couple days, you know, cool off, and then it will be warm again, like this. Now, if you push into conversation and you don't want to have it at all, you just basically change the subject, or just tell that you don't want to talk. For example, you are not into investments or any kind of this fashionable kind meme coins, and you don't know anything about them. Just say that this is not really my subject, this is not my expertise, let's talk about something else. Remember that in a conversation, it's a feminine person who always leads the conversation, whether you want it or not. So if you think that you will be rude by interrupting somebody or by not supporting the subject that was chosen, it's not like this. People will feel you. They will feel that, okay, I don't think this is an interesting subject, so let's even not discuss it. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid not to say anything at all. Now, feminine would be, I put it here, this is extra, it's already. Expressing your wish is feminine. If a wish is non-negotiable, it's masculine. Again, if you're super direct, if you're really like, when you talk and you're like, okay, this is non-negotiable, like this, if you are, this is masculine. Now, if you tell so let me make an example. For example, let's imagine you're talking to a man and you're like, oh my God, you could imagine I was in the store today and I saw this amazing bag. I think I just need to have it. It's just so beautiful. If you want, I can send you a link. So, you know, if you want to give it to me, I would love it. This is feminine. You're expressing the wish. You're expressing that you would love to receive it from him. I mean, that's normal. The masculine will be, I do want to get this bag. Will you buy it for me? And he will be like, well, I don't know. I need to see. And you're like, no. It's either you buy me a bag or not. Sometimes both of them, it's either you buy me a bag or we're not talking no more. Both of them are needed, kind of. Why? Because sometimes the feminine sometimes, especially if a man is not your partner, or if he's too kind of egoistic, kind of too into himself, you need to let him know what is allowed and what is not. But for the most part, a man will get the feminine approach more. Especially also if a man is feminine, it would be good if you will come off to him with the masculinity, because you will tell him, oh my God, I love this bag, I really want to have it. The feminine man will not even get the hint. He will be like, oh really, yeah, cute, you know, maybe you can save it from your salary or something like that. With the feminine man, it's better to be direct. With the masculine man, it's better to be more feminine and kind of softer. All right, I think that's it on the feminine conversation. I do want you all to try how to do this. Send it to anybody who is inspired to be more feminine. Again, when you talk feminine, you are more powerful. I want you to understand this. No matter where you are, whether you're in a corporate job or anywhere, you are more powerful when you talk feminine. I was talking feminine when I was in my corporate job. The last 2 years, I've really embraced my femininity. My God, my sales were just through the roof. Why? Because I was talking like this, soft, positive, inspiring, and my clients were actually buying what I was saying. Why? What I was telling them. Why? Because I was painting a brighter picture. I was not negative. I mean, I was always realistic, obviously, but I was never negative. I was never pushy. I was never aggressive. I was like, look, this is what it is. I can do it for you. I mean, would be good for you, but it's up to you, really, like that. And my sales went really high. Why? Because I was using my power instead of trying to pretend that I have a different kind of power. So embrace yourself, use it. I mean, if you have a lot of fire, a lot of air, it would be maybe hard for you to become more soft-spoken, but you can practice, you can train it. It's not that hard, honestly. I know people who did this. I had a mentor who has a lot of fire in her, and she learned how to speak through the womb. Yeah, sometimes her fire wakes in her and she becomes very aggressive, but it's almost never. I mean, she knows how to manage herself, how to filter, and it became a habit. Right now, she always talks like this. And when I call her, she's like, hello, like something like that. It's so sweet. All right, so to sum it up, if you develop your femininity, you will talk feminine. It will become naturally, and I can prove it to you. When you're with the man, you probably talk with the man that you like. You probably talk a little softer, a little kind of quieter. You probably don't talk much. You just observing. You just enjoying yourself. So this is what it is. When you're feminine, you will talk like this. So a woman talks always with her feelings, only when she feels like. So any kind of forced conversations are masculine. A woman should talk 75% of her time feminine and 25% masculine. A feminine conversation is always coming with emotions and feelings, and it always positive, should be at least neutral if you could not make it positive. The conversation should be inspiring, it should be about the praise, the strengths, some kind of power like this. All this has to be genuine, though. I hope you understand. So what is she grateful for, what she desires, what she wishes, what her plans are. So always something positive. Feminine voice comes from the womb and from the heart. If you really want to feel feminine power, talk from the womb. This is usually what the coaches teach. Talk from the womb. You can start with the heart. I know for some people who never spoke from the womb, it's like really almost impossible. So start from the heart. Imagine your vocal cords are here and the voice comes from your heart. You will be able to do that. Now, remember that a feminine power is quietness. So if a man is a little too loud, don't talk. A feminine voice is not only power, but it's also like a prize. You see, you don't talk to just anybody. You send the energy with your conversation. So make sure, since you send in the energy, you send it to people that are deserving this. If a man is aggressive at you, or if somebody is fighting you, and it doesn't anyhow affect you, I mean, don't even open your mouth. Why would you? It's, let the man kind of calm down and then come with you with the apologies in the present. Okay, I think that's it. Do try to be, if you feel like you need to talk, if you feel like you need to fill up the emptiness, if you feel like you will be forgotten if you are not talking, if you feel like people will not find you interesting if you are not talking, then this is all dirty masculinity, femininity altogether. Get rid of that. If you want to speak masculine, let's imagine, then speak directly with your mind. So masculine conversation is with the mind, feminine conversation with the feelings and the emotions. And that's it, basically. So send this video to anybody who wants to be feminine, who wants to speak feminine, who wants to be more soft-spoken. Again, all this kind of sweet words and flirtations, if they don't have the energy behind them, don't mean nothing. So you can be talking sweet to a man, you can be flirting, but if you don't feel it like this, he will feel the fakeness very, very fast. He will not feel nothing, and it will be awkward. All right. Let me know where your Mercury is. I'm really curious. Let me know how the feminine way of talking helped you in your life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody, enjoy your day.